Okay, so connecting with the previous lecture, in this lecture I'm just going to show you that how you will calculate mean, variance and mode of continuous distribution. So we have already covered these things, how to calculate mean, variance and mode of a discrete probability distribution. So as you people know that continuous distribution is totally different from the discrete probability distribution, because continuous distribution take values in a specific interval and we use integration in order to calculate mean and variance of a specific continuous probability distribution. So in this lecture I'm just going to solve some specific example in order to show you that how you will calculate mean, variance and mode of a continuous distribution. So the formulation for the mean is Ex is equal to summation minus infinity to plus infinity x into f of x. F of x show the function of continuous probability distribution function. As you know that in continuous probability distribution, when we throw a die, so we will get these numbers. Maybe it will be the number up here will be 1, maybe the number up here will be 2, maybe it will be 3, maybe it will be 4, 5 or 6, and their respective probabilities are, in order to get a 1, if you throw a die, if it is 1, the probability will be 1 by 6. Similarly, for each possible outcome, the probability will be 1 by 6. So in this question, if we want to calculate mean, so you know that in discrete probability distribution, mean is summation x into px. So what we will do, we will multiply the corresponding even probability with the number. So this is the corresponding, the number appear on the die with the respective probabilities. In the next column, we will multiply x into px. When we sum this, when we put summation x into px, we will get the sum of all these multiplications. So it will be the mean. Similarly, you remember that in the mean, we use this formulation, that mean, the variance for the discrete probability distribution, the variance is E x square minus E x, or mean. So Ex square is calculated with summation x square into px. So we just calculate this summation x square into px. We will take square of this x square. In the next, we will multiply this x square with the corresponding with the probabilities. And when we add it, when we put the values in this formula, so we will get the variance. But in continuous distribution, as I already mentioned, that continuous distribution will take values in an interval. So therefore, instead of putting this summation, we will put this integration, and this integration will start from the lower bound to the upper bound, because continuous probability distribution lies in a specific interval. So when we multiply x with respect to a function, when we put all these upper and lower bound in that function, so we will get the mean. Similarly, for the variance, the formulation is same, but for Ex square, we will use this formula. Ex square is equal to minus infinity to plus infinity, x square into px. So instead of multiplying x with it, for Ex square, because this is x power 1, so that is why x power 1. But when Ex square, when the power is become x square, so we will, for x square, if this is x square, so we will do this. So when you put Ex square, when the values of this, when you calculate this, when you put this value minus the Ex value, the Ex value will be without x square, so you will get the variance. Similarly, for the standard deviation, you will calculate, you will take the square root of the variance of it, so you will get the variance. Mode, so normally we define the mode is the most frequent observation. Normally when a number appear again and again in experiment, that is the mode, the most frequent observation. So the definition of a mode is the most frequent observation. So how we will calculate the mode of a continuous probability distribution? So the mode of a continuous distribution is the most probable value of the random variable associated with the distribution. If we state the probability distribution function against it, it will typically have a maximum. So as I mentioned, that it will not be in the stepwise, the continuous distribution will be in the curve form. It will be not in the steps. It will not be just like you going through stairs, you jumping from one stair to another stair, but it will be a curve. So we will get the mode when it reached to a specific peak. So how we will calculate the peak of that? You need to take the function first derivative. When you differentiate the function, when you calculate, when you put it equal to 0, so that will be the value of that function. For example, this is f of x. So you need to take the differentiation of this. So what will be when you differentiate it? It will be 2 into differentiate with respect to x square, because 2 is constant. It will become out when you differentiate it. So 2 into x to power minus 1. So it will be 4x. 4x will be equal to 0, because for the calculation of mode, you will consider that the first derivative of a function will be equal to 0. So from this, x will be equal to 0. So it's 0. You will get the most frequent observation of this. So this is just an example. I will show you while solving some more example that how you will calculate mode. Okay, this is a very simple example. We have a continuous random variable function. This is the function which defined for this interval. We start from 1 and finish at 3. So x lies which is greater than equal to 1 and which is less than or equal to 3. Otherwise, it will be equal to 0. So as you people know that the mean is start from minus infinity to plus infinity, x into f of x d of x. So this is the general formula. Now we want to use this formula in order to calculate the mean. So we know that this function is only defined for this. So our integration, this minus infinity will be 1, this plus infinity will be 3, because this function is only defined for this interval. X, which is the formula x, into, we will put this f of x, 3 over 4, 1 minus x, x minus 3, d of x. So when we simplify it, 3 by 4 will become out, x. So 1 minus x into x minus 3. So first of all, 1x minus 3 minus x square plus 3x. So when we simplify it, it will be minus 3 plus 4x minus x square. You need to multiply this x with this. So 3 over 4, 1 over 3 minus 3x plus 4x square minus x cube d of x. Then you need to apply integration on each term. You need to multiply this integration with this, with this, with this. When you multiply it, you will get this. Because minus 3 will become out, it will be, when you integrate x, it will be x square by 2, and this is the upper and lower limit, plus 4 will become out, x cube divided by 3, x cube plus divided by 3, while you integrate x square, 1, 3 is the upper and lower limit. Similarly, x power 4 divided by 4 and lower limit and upper limit. So when you put these values while using the integration rule, you will get these values. So when you simplify it, you will get mean is equal to 2. So this is very simple approach. Only difference with discrete we use summation, but now we will use, because we have specific interval, so we will use the specific interval in order to integrate, in order to calculate the mean of a specific area. Similarly, the variance. So the variance formulation is ex square minus ex whole square. So ex square minus mean square. So you people know that ex is equal to minus infinity to plus infinity x into f of x, and ex square will be x square. So this is x1. So when it is x square, it will be x square. You need to multiply now for ex square. In order to get this value, you need to multiply x square with the function f of x. So minus 1 over 3 x square into f of x, 3 over 4, because function is 3 over 4, x square into 1 minus x, x minus 3. You need to simplify it. When you simplify it, it will become like this. Then you need to multiply integration, 3 over 4 minus 3 x cube, because this will be x cube by 3. This will be because x4 by 4, and it will be x5 by 5. When you put all these values, when you simplify it, you will get ex square this value. When you put, because our variance of x is equal to ex square minus mean square. So in the previous slide, we have already calculated mean, which is 2. So ex square, which for this we have already conduct calculation. We already calculate this 54 by 20 minus 2 square. So this will be the answer. This will be your variance. So I hope that you understand. I will give you some more examples, some more question in the assignment. You need to solve those in order to further understand the concept of mean and variance, how you will calculate mean and variance of a continuous probability distribution. So the mode, I have already defined that the most frequent observation is called mode. So for example, this is now a curve, this is now a line, this is a continuous distribution. So the most frequent observation, this point is the mode, most frequent, which means the most peaked point which is on the top, that will be the mode. Similarly, in this one, this curve, the peak is this one, so this is the mode. Similarly, in this one, we have two modes, because this point and this point are same. So that is why it is called bimodal, because it have two modes. So at this point and this point we will get. This is now a uniform distribution. Okay, this is now a uniform distribution. So the uniform distribution is also a type of continuous probability distribution. This is uniform, it will not be changed. It will, throughout the whole process, their mode will not be changed. Okay, in this, our mode is this point. Okay, so how you will calculate? You need to take the differentiation. The first, for example, I am just going to solve a simple example. The random variable x has a probability distribution function given by f of x divided 3 by 4 x square 2 minus x 0, and it's defined for the lower limit is 0 and the upper limit is 2. Otherwise, it is equal to 0. So now we want to calculate the mode. The random variable, so if you sketch it, the variable behavior, this function behavior will be look like this. When you sketch it in the Cartesian coordinate, it will be look like this. So now in order to calculate f of mode, you need to take the first differentiation. It will be equal to 0 when you put it equal to 0. So you see this is the mode, because at this point you will get the peak. So which is the point? Now we want to calculate this point, because when you reach at this point, the peak of the curve will be at the top. Mean this will be the mode. So when we write this, f of x is 3 by 4 x square 2 minus x. So when you differentiate it, 3 by 4, if you want to simplify it, 2x square minus x cube. Now we want to take first derivative, 3 by 4, it will become 2 into. So if you want to calculate this, so how you will calculate this is equal to, sorry, this is 3 by 4, 2 into 2 into 2 x minus 3x square. So when you differentiate it, the differentiation rule you people know, 3 by 4, so it will be 4 by x, 4x minus 3x square. So this is minus 3x square. For the mode, f dash mean f first derivative will be equal to 0. So when you put this function equal to 0, so 3 by 4, 4x minus 3x square is equal to 0. So 3 by 4 will be going to this side, it will be equal to 0. So 4x minus 3x square will be left. So you need to take x common. When you take x common from this, it will be this. So x will be equal to 0. X will be equal to 0, or 4 minus 3x is equal to 0. So 4 is equal to 3x. Okay. So x will be 4 by 3. 4 by 3. So the most frequent observation is 4 by 3, because this is 0. So mean at this point your curve is going down. But at this point at 3 by 4, because the interval is from 0 to 2. So between 0 to 2, when you reach to 4 by 3, your curve will be going to the peak. It will be the topmost level, the most probable value, the most frequent observation will be occur at 4 by 3. So at this way you will calculate the mode of the distribution. So I think it's enough for today. In this lecture I just discussed that how you will calculate mean, variance and mode of a continuous normal distribution. In the next lecture I will discuss some more examples.